Hello Sumit, you're welcome back to my channel. So in this video we'll be learning how to draft and cut this beautiful crop top with basque waistline. If this is what you want to know how to make, you can stick around. Let's get started. You can see how pretty is sitting on my dress form. So let's get started, as this is the part one of the video. So to get started, take your measurements on your pattern paper. You can do that on your fabric if you want, but the fabric I have is so small, so the pattern paper helps me to manage it. Okay, so I went ahead to take my shoulder measurement, I took my chest line measurement, I took my under bust, I took the waist, and I took the full length of the top. And the full length I'm using for the top is 19 inches. You know, it's a crop top, it's not meant to be so long. Okay, so I'll go ahead and rule all the lines across where I will be inputting my circumference measurement. So you can see the lines I'm rolling. I have the chest line, I have the apex line, I have the underbust, and I have the waistline. So the next thing I will go ahead to do now, I'll go ahead and mark my shoulder measurement. I did a shoulder slope of about 1.5. Okay, so I'm just going to connect the shoulder slope to the 3 inches for the neck width I marked at the beginning of the draft. Okay, so after doing that, the next thing I'm going to do now is to go ahead. You can see me labeling it, the chest line, the apex line, the underbust, and the waist. I'll go ahead and take my dart intake, which is 4 inches, which is my bust span intake. Okay, so the 4 inches for the dart intake, I'm going to rule it across to the lower part and the upper part of the pattern. Okay, because the dart is affecting it all the way through, so it's a bustier pattern we're using to make the top. Okay, so after doing that, you know, we'll be creating a side dart, which is a bust dart with 2 inches. So I have to return the 2 inches to the lower part of the top. Okay, because by the time we crease the bust dart away, now the 2 inches, we've creased it away. Okay, so I have to return it, and that's what I've just done. So the next thing I will be doing now is to go ahead and take my dart intake. My dart intake that I'm using in this video is 2 inches. So I'm just going to mark 1 inch on both sides each. Then I'll connect a straight line straight to the underbust line. Then on the nipple point line, on the apex line, I'll come down by ½ inch and I'll go up by ½ inch. I will connect with my curve ruler to the underbust line, connecting to the dart legs that we've created. Okay, so after doing that, now the next thing we'll be doing now is to go ahead and take my bust measurement. Okay, so my bust measurement is 10 inches. Then from there I will go up by 1 inch. If you're used to my video, you know that whenever I'm making a sleeveless top, I always go up by 1 inch so that it covers my armpit. Okay, so I went ahead to create the shoulder dart, which is 1 inch to the left, 1 inch to the right, and I connected it to the ½ inch we came up with from the nipple point line. Okay, so you can see me connecting the line like this. So after doing that, the next thing I will be doing now is to take my waist measurement. So whatsoever measurement my waist have, okay, I'm going to add the 2 inches for that to it. You see the 2 inches we've taken now, I will add it to it. Can you see the 2 inches we've taken for the dart? Now I'll add it to it and connect all the lines together. Okay, then after that, I will go ahead and take the bust dart. I'll come down by 2 inches from the nipple point line and I'll connect it straight to the nipple point. Okay, so after creating the bust dart, the next thing I is to impute my lower waist measurement. Okay, so what's anywhere you want the top to end, just measure it round, and that's the measurement you will input on the lower part. The 2 inches for the dart also, we are adding it to it. Okay, so you just go ahead and connect with your curved ruler like this. Then I'm adding 1.5 inch as seam allowance, like I normally do to all my patterns. So after that, I'll go ahead and connect the allowance I've added to the side. So you can see how I'm doing it. If there's any part that is confusing to you, please, I'll be very glad to put you through. I'll leave my number on the screen so that you can contact me in case you're trying out any of the videos on my YouTube channel and you're finding it difficult to do, I'll be glad to put you through. So after that, go ahead and cut the dart open, the lower dart. You have to cut it open because we are creasing the neck dart and the bust dart, okay? And if you don't cut any of the dart legs open, you cannot crease any parts. The paper will not relax, okay? So you can see how I'm folding it down. So after creasing it like this, I'm just going to tape it down with my paper tape. Any kind of tape you have, just go ahead and tape it down. So after taping it down with my paper, the next thing I will do is to go ahead and take my shoulder measurement, okay? My shoulder measurement is 7.5. I've taken it before, but I'm taking it again for us to see. So I will mark the 7.5. On the area where we came down with 1.5 for shoulder slope, I will also mark the 7.5 shoulder measurement. Then on the upper part, you know, we came up with 1 inch from the chest line. I just had to square it up so that it will be easier for me to connect the armhole line, okay? So after doing that, the next thing I will do now is to connect the armhole line. So I'm going to use my curved ruler. So I'm using the pattern master ruler at this point because I was actually looking for my armhole curve ruler and I did see it, but this one actually really worked, but not properly. So I'm going to get my armhole curve ruler, then I can curve it properly, okay? So after curving it this way, can you see what we have? After curving it, the next thing we are going to do now is to go ahead and determine how wide we want the shoulder to be, like the part that is going to serve as the strap, okay? So I used 1.5, and on the chest line I came up by 1.5 also, because I'm busty, okay, and I want it to cover my boobs, okay? So I'm coming up from the chest line, I'm coming up by 1.5 from the chest line, okay? So when I do that now, I'm going to use my curve ruler. After squaring the 1.5 up to the dart leg, I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect the 1.5 on the shoulder line straight to the dart line at the middle. So I went ahead to cut the side away so it will be easy for me to crease the bust dart. You know, we've not creased that part. So I'm going to slit it open, leaving a very tiny piece to hold the paper together, and I'm going to crease it. So when I place it on each other like this, I'm going to tape it down. If you're still watching the video at this point, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Drop a review. What do you think about the video? Okay, so I reconnected and I went ahead to cut it out. So after cutting the center dart away, you just watch how I'm going to cut it all out so that you don't make any mistake when you are cutting your own, okay? So I'm just going to take all the darts, the excesses away. Then after that, this is what we have. So the next thing we'll be doing now is to create the star line, okay? From the photo now, from the photo on the thumbnail, you can see that the two star lines, they are closer to the center front, okay? So that's why you see me mark. I first of all marked 1 inch from the center front to create the star line, but I later changed it to 1.5 because I felt that 1 inch was too tiny. So here at this part, I was adding extra ½ inch to it to make it 1.5. So if you watch very well, you can see that the star lines, they are very close to the center front and at the nipple point area also. So now after rolling it, I'm just going ahead to cut it out. So this part serves as the star line and the part we use in creating the bust dart. So this is what we have. The next thing you would do now is to place the paper together, okay? Make sure that the lines are aligning. Place it together like so. From the waistline, come down by 1 inch. Okay, come down by 1 inch. Go ahead and tape it together so that it will be easy for you to work on, because we want to create the basque waistline already. Okay, so just hold it down with your tape. So after doing that, you go ahead to connect with your straight ruler. If you don't want it straight, you can make it curve, so you use your curve ruler. Depends on what you want. So from that 1 inch I came down with on the side, on the waistline, I will roll it straight to the center front, to the full measurement that I'm using for the top, and I'm just going to connect everything. Then I will go ahead and cut and the front pattern is ready like this. Okay, so the next thing we'll go ahead to do now, I'll just go ahead and remove the tape. Okay, so it is what we have here like this. Now I will go ahead and cut on our fabric, but before then let's work on the back pattern. I already have my chest line and the waistline ready. So the next thing I is to determine the full measurement of the top. It's going to carry the same measurement as the front pattern. Okay, so I'm just going to connect the lines like so. Then I will begin to input all my measurements. Okay, so you know that we use the I will input my bust measurement, I will input my waist measurement. Okay, then I will input the lower measurement, which is where the top is resting on. Okay, so whatsoever measurement I have around that place, that's what I will put. I'll go ahead and input my dart measurement, which is 4 inches for my dart intake, and I'm going to mark the 4 inches from the chest line straight to the full length of the top, and I will connect with a straight ruler. Okay, so after doing that now, the dart intake, I'll go ahead and add 1.5 as seam allowance. Okay, like we added to the front. So any number of inches you added for seam allowance for the front, it is the same you will add for the back. So you can see me just connecting my lines together from the chest line to the waistline, from the waistline to the full length of the top. I'll go ahead and mark my ½ inch to the right, my ½ inch to the left to connect my dart on the back pattern. Okay, so you can see what we are doing. It's just 1 inch you are using for that, and don't forget that the 1 inch I'm using for that, I've already added it to my measurement. Okay, so please, if your waist measurement is 8, you should know that you're marking 9 inches because of the 1 inch we've just ruled out for the dart. Okay, so I went ahead to create another line on the side because I was thinking I'm going to have another star line here, but going back to the photo I'm working with, there is no star line on the sides. Okay, so that line I just wrote doesn't really count. So don't forget that for the front pattern we came up by 1 inch to raise the armhole line, the chest line. So we're doing the same thing for the back. Okay, so you can see me reconnecting all the lines so that you know that we've added our seam allowance to the pattern. So I'll just go ahead and take my shoulder measurement for the back, which is 7.5. Okay, then the shoulder slope for the back is 1 inch also. So I'm just going to connect with my curved ruler like so. Now you'll be wondering why I didn't do the armhole curve. Like I didn't come in with about 1 inch, a bit ½ inch from the center line of the armhole curve. It is because I want it to cover my armpit very well. If you're used to my video, you know that I always try my best to make sure that my armpit is covered. Okay, so this is what I did. I've gone ahead to connect the armhole curve line, and I'm going to connect the shoulder slope. Now the point I'm connecting the shoulder slope to is 3 inches as the shoulder width. So I will mark the 1.5 for the shoulder, which is the sleeve part. Same thing we did for the front. Okay, so after marking the 1.5, I'm going to connect with my curved ruler like so to the dart line. Okay, so after doing it like this, now I'm just placing the front pattern here to determine the full length. Okay, because you know the sides, the front and the back side have to be equal so that when you're joining it, one part is not longer than the other. So whatever measurement I have on the side, I will extend into the center back and I will rule a straight line. Note that in this pattern we're working with here, there is no zipper allowance added yet. We'll be doing that while cutting on the fabric, and I will also be taking us through that. So you can see how short the back pattern is. It is because I want the back to be straight, like it should just be straight. It's not carrying basque on the back. If you want the back of your own to carry basque, you should use the same method we use for the front pattern to achieve the basque for the back. Okay, so after doing that, I'm just going to cut the dart away. And after cutting the dart away, we are done with the pattern. So we're going to create the star line for the back. So like what I said before, I'm working with the picture on the thumbnail. So the basque is only very close to the center back also. So I'm just going to rule a straight line, just use 2 inches. So I'm just going to cut it out. So this now serve as another star line. I'll go ahead and label it so I don't mistake one for the other. Okay, so I'm just label it 1 2 3, and the back pattern is ready, the front and the back is ready. I'll fold my fabric and spread the patterns on it. So this is what we have on the table after folding my fabric into 2. The fabric is folded into 2. Okay, so we have ½ inch added to every part of the pattern. Please take note of this part. This is the center back I'm marking, and I added 1 inch for zipper allowance. So I'm just going to do my zipper tightening of ½ inch, and after marking ½ inch away from the lower part, I'm just going to connect it straight to the chest line. That ½ inch I have removed now. I'm going to add it back to the side of the back. Okay, so now that's what you can see me do. If you don't know how to do all of these things, go and watch a video on how to do your basic bodice pattern. It's very detailed. Once you know how to do it, this one is a walkover, is a walkover for you. So I'm just going to go ahead to cut it all out. Okay, because take note of the dart, take note of the allowance I added. The ½ inch I added is what I will use to join all the pieces together. So at this point, there is going to be a part 2 of this video because we cannot include the sewing part as the video will be too long. So you can watch out for the part 2 where I will be sewing it. The techniques I use in sewing it to give me a neat work done. So you can watch out for the part 2. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the part 2 of the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share. Bye.